On today's episode of What If We Smoked It, we're going to make banana bread. But this time, instead of smoking the banana bread in the smoker, we're going to do something slightly different. So come on back after the intro and I'll show you what we're doing today. So banana bread is referred to as a quick bread because unlike a traditional bread, it doesn't use yeast or require proofing and kneading in order to get that rise. It's going to rely on the use of baking soda and or baking powder to create a chemical reaction which will allow that rise to happen much quicker, hence the term quick bread. And that's going to result in a more cakey texture than a bread texture. So the twist that we're going to add onto our banana bread today is instead of smoking it in the smoker, in order to enhance the smoke flavor and try to impart as much as we possibly can, we're actually going to smoke some of the ingredients. So right now the bananas are actually in the smoker smoking, hoping that we're going to be able to impart maximum smoke flavor without overpowering the banana bread. I think the banana bread's a good choice because the dark brown sugar and the molasses should create a strong enough flavor profile that the smoke won't be able to overpower it. So we're going to go over the ingredients shortly. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and prep my pan. Now what I like to do to prep my pan, instead of using grease on the outside, because I always find it still sticks, I like to go ahead and line it with some parchment paper. And I find the easiest way to do that is to fold your parchment paper into 4 and then cut from the unfolded corners towards the center. Not all the way, but enough that you can get some overlap when you put it in there. So you're going to need the following ingredients: all-purpose flour, 1 3/4 cups, baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, half a cup or 113 grams of softened butter, dark brown sugar packed half a cup of dark or fancy molasses, mashed ripe bananas approximately 2 cups, and 1 large egg. So now it's time to get started combining our ingredients. We're going to start with the dry, and then we're going to do the wet separately, and then we're going to combine the two together at the end before we put them in the pan and into the oven. So let's get on to the dry ingredients first. For our dry ingredients, we're going to start with the salt, which is half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 3/4 cups of flour, and we're just going to give this a quick whisk just to get it all combined. By using white flour here, it's going to give us a really nice soft texture on the banana bread, which is going to be a really good contrast to the flavors that we're trying to get here. So with the wet ingredients, we're going to have to cream the butter first, so that's why you need it to be softened, and then you're going to mix it with the brown sugar. So as I said earlier, we're going to cream our softened butter with the dark brown sugar, get that to a nice consistency, make sure everything is incorporated well. I'm electing to go with a fork and do it by hand, though going forward I would strongly recommend using a mixer as this can be a little tougher than it looks. Then we're going to beat in the molasses. Now this is going to be what adds a little bit of that moisture so we don't have a dry cake. It's also going to provide a really nice rich dark brown color, and it's going to be a really nice earthy flavor profile too. So it's about 2 cups of mashed bananas. I smoked them for about an hour, so hopefully that'll add some smoke flavor, but nothing too overpowering. We're going to mix until it's uniform. Then we're going to add the egg, and we're just going to whisk this all together until it forms like a dark, creamy liquid. The next thing we need to do is combine our wet and dry ingredients. Now there's a couple of schools of thought here. I personally like to go dry into wet. That way I can kind of control the clumps a little bit better. So that's the way we're going to do it this time. So we're going to do this little by little. We're not going to dump all the dry in there at one time. I'm just going to try and do this maybe a cup at a time. And we're going to combine it until you can no longer see any flour. You do not want to overmix at this point. Otherwise you're going to end up with a very dry, tougher bread. Now we're going to take this thick batter and we're going to just fill it into our baking pan. Let's get this into our 350-degree oven. It's going to bake for between 55-65 minutes. All right, so there's our timer now. Let's go ahead and get this thing tested and make sure it is ready. That looks delicious. I wish you could smell it. It smells great too. That is a perfectly clean cake tester to me. Give me one moment, we'll get this all prepped and ready to go. We are out of the oven and looking absolutely fantastic. I don't know how well you can see that from there. Try to zoom in and get you a good close-up. It smells like a great banana bread. We are going to give this about 10 minutes to cool before we cut into it, and then we'll give it a taste test and see how it is. Now it's been about 10 minutes, so we're going to pop this sucker out, give it a slice and see how it tastes. I don't know about you guys, we all fight over the end piece in my house. What do you guys, what's your favorite part? Let's finally get into this. Oh, it's falling apart, it's so tender. It's very chewy, very nice, very soft. Tastes great. You can really taste the molasses. I'm not catching a lot of banana though. I'm definitely not catching a lot of smoke. I don't know what it's going to take to get some smoke into some of these bakes, but it has to happen sometime soon, doesn't it? It's definitely delicious. There's nothing wrong with that banana bread at all. If you like what you're seeing here, please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.